Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our new catalog launch. It is just after 1 o'clock here in Middle Tennessee, and I am kind of cooking on all burners today. So I apologize for getting us started a few minutes late. It just kind of is what it is today, and we're rolling with it best we can. Okay, so we are going to pick up on page 36, right? Um, actually 35. Sorry about that. Uh, and let's think about what has happened in that last hour while we were apart. There was let's see, at 11:30, there was a post, and at noon, there was a post about the ordering special. We talked about that a little bit on the last call, and we'll talk about it again a little while later. But basically, we're giving you several opportunities to get more for your dollar than you might normally get. So let me switch cameras and get us started. All right. So we are starting. We ended with the note cards and envelopes here. We talked about they were 20 cards and envelopes for $12. A great bargain. And we're jumping over to this Wishes All Around bundle. I do not have this one. It is, it's wreaths. You know, there's always a good wreath set in, at least I say always, I think there most always is. We'll go with that. How about? Okay. Just some pretty ribbon up here at the top, right? You might need to investigate that a little bit because that doesn't quite look like the jute from the annual catalog, and that thin gold trim. I'm just going to take a peek because I know I will forget later to see which catalog it was from. Okay, that's going to be an annual catalog ribbon. All right. So this next beautiful suite is called Winter Meadow. And so it is a suite of products. There is a bundle, a ribbon, some embellishments, and two papers. Lots of blues in this paper, and I've got that to show you. I thought I had the gems in the ribbon. Turns out I do not. And I've not yet ordered this, the bundle. Let's take a look at some of the samples, and then I'll pull out the pieces that I do have. So you can see some of these beautiful cards that have been made here. I absolutely love this. This is actually that they have cut that paper in small squares and created the background or that layer with it. It's really, really pretty. And then look at all of the die pieces here. Now this is a little fussy for me in these really tiny dies, but do you remember Forever Fern? That was a stamp set similar to this, and it just creates some beautiful, really versatile cards. And I think, let me make sure, so you can get a closer look at the stamp set and the dies that are included over here. These beautiful fonts. May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. It's just gorgeous. It is a cling stamp, so it's red rubber stamps, and the paper, guys, the paper is just going to make it. You'll notice here is that distinctive icon letting us know that this stamp has all the depth and texture and detail built into the stamp. And when you ink these stamps up, they actually look a little different. They may look like they're not inked. And I can show you that later with one of the distinctive stamps in this catalog that I do have with me. So I'm going to grab the pieces of this suite that I do have and show it to you. So at first glance, when you look at these papers, you think, and especially even the names, okay, one of them is called Snowflake Magic, and the other is called Winter Meadow. And there are no snowflakes in the designer series paper, but it's the colors that are so beautiful. And when you use this paper with the back side of some of the designer series paper, it's just quite stunning. All right, so we'll start with the specialty paper, and you're going to get 6 sheets, so 12 by 12, and you'll get 2 of each. Now, a couple of things to note about that is that the specialty paper is now single-sided, okay? And why is that nice? Because you don't have to pick one or the other. You get to focus on, this is the pattern that I'm using, or this is the pattern I'm using, this is the pattern I'm using. It's not competing with whatever is on the back side. So lots of foil in this paper. This paper has Lost Lagoon is the color that is the most prominent in it. Okay, so here is the snowflake, and then this beautiful white and silver distressed look. That's just gorgeous. And then here is it's a foil paper with the white that has been imposed. I can't think of my word, but it's like white on top of a traditional foil, snowflakes on top of this traditional foil. So that is really pretty paper, part of the suite. And I'm going to keep it right here for a second so that I can show you kind of how that will work with the back side of some of these papers. This is another watercolor, just stunning imagery in this paper with a lot of colors. So we've got basic black, little pops of blueberry bushel, brightens it up a great bit, garden green, Lost Lagoon, misty moonlight, moody mauve. I jumped to the French. I was like, wait, what happened? Pebbled path, pretty peacock, shaded spruce, and smoky slate. So, and how about this? You can see how the mauve is in a lot of these stems. So, okay, I got to back up a little bit so that you can see the whole image here. Okay, so beautiful paper here. Medium weight, lots of watercolor aspects to it. All the colors here. So, okay, and then here you have a more muted background color. You could stamp your greetings on this. Just really do some lovely things with this. And how about it when you bring over the white foil? Okay, I'm going to get these all shuffled out of order. Oh my gosh, how about the seams? So here you get some deer, very soft, smoky slate look to this, some darker, more towards basic gray and black. With this type of paper, you typically will cut it at 6 inches and then have 6 inches to play with the depth on either side. So that's bigger than your card, but that way, the other thing that you could do is cut it at 5 1/4. And then you would have, okay, I'm trying to do math here. You'd have 10 and a half. You'd have an inch and a half here in the center that you could do something with that piece, right? That would end up, and then check this out on the other side. Now this is kind of a brown looking that I don't think is coming across there. More of a gray granite. I don't remember if I mentioned gray granite in the color listing or not. Some gorgeous moody mauve, peacock in this, super pretty paper, and then pretty peacock and Lost Lagoon on this side. It's so pretty what you can do with ink, paper, and water. How you can add this like water droplets to something that you have added ink to, and then it just kind of feathers out. I love that. And look at all of these little scenes. Won't that make some beautiful backgrounds for you? Gosh, I just realized. Okay, need to move that a little bit. And then a real soft gray on this side. So let's take a look at how pretty. So those two would be, or this one. And if you really wanted an elegant white look, you could bring these two in together as well. And then here you see some of the pops of the blueberry bushel. And don't notice the mauve in this one, but some really pretty greens. And then a really bright, this is clearly blueberry bushel on this side. And then some Lost Lagoon. Look at all the depth that you see in this paper from a distance. Up close, I don't see that as much, but I can very clearly see it looking at my screen instead of down. But you've got lots of shading under these trees to really make the background fluid. And then this is very Lost Lagoon looking as well. Would be super pretty. This is beautiful together. So those are the papers in this suite. And I have not really addressed some of the back orders that we are currently experiencing with some of the products. I will do that in a bit. I just wanted a chance to check the inventory status before I really told you what that meant and what we were going to do about it. So now the other parts of this suite, this is a beautiful, really sheer ribbon. I cannot believe that I missed it, but I missed it or they missed putting it in my order. It's most likely me. And then these really soft color gems, they do have a little bit of height to them. Not extreme, but there's some texture here that you would want to protect when you are mailing cards using them. And then you see some more examples here. And then we jump over to this sparkling snowflakes. So I told you earlier that I'd given myself permission to not always order the bundle when I didn't need one or the other of the pieces. And this is one that I won't order the bundle, although I do love Let It Snow and, winter greetings, make the season sparkle. Those are nice greetings, but I have snowflakes that I have kept, snowflake dies as well as stamps. So I don't need the stamps, but the punch is really, really cool. So I haven't ordered it yet, but I will order this punch probably by itself. I don't think I'll order the stamp set this time. And look how pretty this is with this, with the jute on these samples and the Moody Mauve ribbon. Really, really pretty. So now we're moving over to this little above it all bundle. So if you're a skier, if you are a Gatlinburg visitor, frequenter, then this bundle may speak to you greatly. I have a feeling that you could probably use this in, well, of course you could use this in other ways. I personally haven't had any, instant thoughts about where else I would use this little cable um, ski lift. I can't think of what it's called, um, but anyway, lots of fun things here that they've done, and I really like this tree. Here you can see it stamped. You can see it stamped on the background, and then here they've stamped it and they have cut it out. The Disney Skyliner. Thank you. An amusement park, um, kind of transport. What did they call it at Opryland? I do not remember. Not, it just dated myself a good bit, but. Um, I know that some of my friends are going to do some really cool things with this bundle. So it is very lovely. And I want to point out that this die along the bottom that gives this background that you see here, that's very cool. Looks like it does a little bit of embossing on with the cutting out. That's a very cool technique in the dies that we don't always see that level of detail. A lot of times it is just behind it. The gondola, thank you. Um, that it's just cutting up around, cutting the detail and not cutting the detail pieces, but not providing detail in the image. And that one most certainly does. That's very cool. Okay, these little treat boxes. I'm brave. Let me tell you how brave I am. Um, I did not put one together, but I am ready to put one together because I wanted to see so we could brainstorm ways that you might use these little boxes. Um, so these are called nested treat boxes, and I'm pretty sure that's an 8 that you get in the set. And so there are 8 middles and 8 boxes. I didn't say that right at all, but anyway. Um, so here they are, a fourplex, if you will, that have been tied together to make a little bit of an advent calendar-like scene, and then tied together with some beautiful ribbon that we're going to take a look at in just a moment. So let's put this together. So you can see this is how it comes. We've got adhesive on these 4 tabs, and everything is scored for us. So the first thing that I do anytime I'm working with something like this is go ahead and score those a little bit. Now, sometimes it kind of depends on if I think they need to be scored with a bone folder, or even if I thought they needed to be scored with a bone folder, I might start with just my fingers to make the path. So this one has the thumb indentation, so it is clearly the inside box. So it is going to be a smidge smaller than the box that it fits into. Okay, so it's pretty obvious with the tabs and the adhesive that this is going to go like so and like so, right? And then it's going to slide into the other. So it should be, famous last words, really easy to put together. I don't know if you all remember some of the boxes that we had, oh, not too terribly long ago. It was not a clear, it was not clear to most of us on how those little things were going to go together. All right, so I am going to line up my edges because that is super, super strong adhesive, and it is going to stick as soon as it comes in contact. So I'm actually going to fold it over a little bit as I bring them to meet because I got one shot. And this is where the bone folder will come into play, and I'll stick that down really well. And then use my take your pick tool. Ouch. Okay, that tip is probably not listed on the tip sheet that I shared with you earlier to poke yourself, keep yourself awake. All right, so I need one of those to definitely stay in. I could have maybe not peeled off the adhesive on both, but what I've done, if you can see, I've held it down with one finger while I worked with the other side. Oh, I went too far in. I felt it slide, but okay. So there is the inside. And I'll tell you too, now this one, it won't matter so much, but you may want to, depending on how you're decorating these, sometimes it's easier to decorate the panels before you put them together. I can't say that that's an always, but it's a some ways. No, sometimes. Now, those of you that have placed an order recently, and I'm going to do this one a little differently, okay? We're going to bring, we're going to see if this is easier to keep them from sticking together. If you've placed an order recently and it wasn't part of a class to go because I have been struggling to even keep up with what I've already done, please don't worry. There's a thank you that is associated with every order. They just are behind in getting out. So the class is to go, hey Chuck, and um, the trucking along class to go. Those are both in progress and should have been out, and they just haven't been. So I am using tomorrow as a catch-up day for that. All right. I can't say that one way was easier than the other. All right, and then we're just going to fit this one inside the other. So pretty easy to do. And what did we think? I mean, you could take 3 of them and have, JY, 4 of them and have Noel. You could do the, Advent, make an Advent calendar of it with treats inside each box. I don't know. It seems to fit a little bit easier on this way, but I don't know that there's a right or wrong way. And then they're just, tied with a ribbon, just decorated on the fronts and then tied together with a ribbon. So cute. What else do you see with these? They're fairly sturdy, not as sturdy as some of the other boxes that we've had, but because they're nested, they do get a little sturdier, maybe not so much at the top. I think this could be a super cute little decoration, or it could be a fun little gift that then becomes a decoration. You could punch a hole in the top and turn these into ornaments with little treats on the inside. That might be kind of fun too. So I'm interested to know what you think, how you see yourself using these. So please share your ideas. Uh, are there any caramels going in some of these, Lou? Just a thought. Those away. Now we talked earlier about reversible stamps. This set is a set of reversible stamps. So we've got the icon down here that tells us it's reversible. And then what this means is that you stamp, put the detail side to the block, and then you can stamp your solid image, clean that off, turn it over, and then put the detail side on facing up and stamp the detail. So you've got pine cones, bows, some little bows, some little cute bells, a little bit of greenery. So this is not, doesn't have any greetings associated with it, but it has some pretty pine cones that you can do. Now, this suite, these boxes for, oh, that's a great idea. So if you were hosting a brunch, a little get together with your friends to celebrate any occasion, doesn't have to be, Christmas or Thanksgiving, but could be a baby shower or a bridal shower. Um, those would make, really sweet things to put some chocolate favors in. Um, would be, yeah, lots of cute things I think you could do with those. One thing I didn't look at was I told you that there were eight. They are $11.50. So eight for 11 and a half. Used for a pillow gift, yes. Would be lovely for an upcoming class. Okay, here we move into the All About Autumn suite. This was made for my shirt, right? Um, yeah, they would be fun as a countdown to Christmas for kids. I still have a couple of the ones from years ago um, that were a little bit smaller boxes, but so that's a good size box. Um, all right, so let's look at the All About Autumn suite. This suite, at least parts of this suite, I'm using in my car club this month. So if you're part of that club, you can come next Saturday. There's a bit of a disclaimer associated with that. Next Saturday and make your cards in person, or if you are making them at home, you will need the stamp set and dies to make them on your own. But I have everything here. And guys, it's beautiful. I'm sorry that my samples aren't quite done to show you, but it is a stunning suite. Um, and we will talk about this when we talk about some of the products that are not available immediately. So if you were to go out to the ordering site and punch in 162193, it would tell you that it is currently not available because there are pieces that are in this suite that are not available right now. Typically, you'd punch that in and you would get one of everything on this page. So for 105.75, one of everything, which is a savings of 10% on the bundle and convenience in ordering for everything else. So let's take a look at this in person, and then we can come back and see how that goes. All right, where to start? So let's look at this stamp set first. How about the detail in these leaves that you get? I don't think it's flagged. No, it's photopolymer. It's not even flagged as distinctive, and it's not, but it does have a bit of the detail in the stamp to give you some darkness and lightness. So it is a bit like a distinctive stamp in that sense. Some mixed font messages. I'm thankful. I love that. With a grateful heart. And then some small strips for all you do today and every day to have you as a friend. And then you have the veins that go along with each of the leaves. So let's take a look at the dies, where the dies go. And my dies are a hot mess because I have been using them quite a bit. So I'm just going to kind of pull them out rather than work from the picture. So you have two dies for the greetings. So here is your Autumn Teaches Us. Here is I'm Thankful with a Grateful Heart. These would be a little small for this, but you could do that too. Then you have, here's the leaf to cut out the outline, and then here are the veins. Now, you could probably stamp and then die cut the veins, I probably wouldn't. I would probably do one or the other, just because I'm a simple stamper, remember. So you have these that work together, and then you have, I love this. You have two of this pattern, and okay, do we not have? Okay, we don't have veins for this. This isn't even not even a stamp. I think this is the maple leaf, and it is, we don't have a stamp for it. We have just the two dies to cut it out. Lovely accents. Here is the tiny, for the really small greetings. There is your die for that. And then you have two of this leaf, right? Again, we don't have the stamp for that. We are cutting accents with the dies. You can cut two at a time, which is amazing. And then you can see that you have this image and the veins that go with it, and this one and the veins that go with it. Now, and then you have these two that are another die without a stamp that corresponds to it. So you've got three uh, three designs. And can you use it for last year's dot leaf stamps? I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that, so I really don't know. But I will tell you that if you had last year's stamp set, you could still use these dies because there's so much of them that is standalone, right? Um, in my class, we're going to use several of these just die cut, not even stamped, and then we'll have the veins that we're going to cut out a few times. You have these two dies that emboss rather than cut out, and they give you a kind of a stitched look or add some texture in. I think it was maybe 3 years ago, we had a leaf set with something similar to this, and it was just beautiful the way it added texture to um, the cards, to the layers. It just added texture and interest. And I don't know why. I think I'm trying to get these in here in any way, um, but because they're not going to fit back on that the way they were originally. So I need to move them to a magnetic card and get them. Okay, that isn't even going to shut now. But this would not be difficult to fussy cut these leaves. I wouldn't try and fussy cut this, but if you got just these stamps without the dies, of course, you're missing out on the dies that cut out the standalone images. I can't figure out how I want to say that. Anyway, gorgeous bundle, Autumn Leaves. That is part of my card club, which you can still sign up for and subscribe, or you can take this class one-off. Now, I want to explain that for just a second, although I need to watch my time. How far am I going? Okay. I'm offering the Card Club kit at a slightly higher premium price than the subscription price. Why did I do that? Well, by subscribing, you give me the benefit of having more lead time in preparing for the class. A lot of times I order at the end of the previous month for those that I know or expect to participate in club the following month. If you sign up the month of the class, then I may have to prep your cards again, or I may have to expedite shipping. So if you want the lower price, then absolutely subscribe. There's no penalty for dropping. It is simply a convenience for you in having the subscription, and a benefit to me in that I'm able to better forecast my needs for the class. Okay, those are the stamps. Let's look at the papers. Okay, this is an oxidized copper 12 by 12 pack. And again, it's single-sided. I need to flip over here. There are 4 sheets, so you're going to get 2 of each. Okay, one that is more coppery looking, and then one that is copper and pretty peacock, I would say. Yes. And so it's single-sided. It's not a heavy, stiff paper to work with, and just coordinates really pretty with so many things. The earth and whatever in the annual catalog, as well as this autumn catalog. Now, I need to grab, bear with me a second, I pulled out, okay, what I think are, did I get everybody? No, that's the wrong side. Sorry. Hold tight. What have I done? See, I was trying to get myself, oh, because I've already separated it. I didn't need to go fishing in my kit here. So this is a 6x6 collection, and you get 4 each and of the 12 designs. So I love these scenes like this. I think they make really pretty backgrounds. And of course, you could stamp and emboss on this side. And then the flip side is just a pattern. Lots of distressed elements to this. Then we have this really pretty texture. It's a sweater you can almost feel, isn't it? And then look at this gorgeous foil on the other side with pretty peacock. Then this, if you are a Swanee person, I bet I know where that reminds you of. It sure hits home with me. Swanee is on top of Monteagle Mountain in Tennessee. It's where I went to college, and we have a cross at the end of a road that looks like this, although it has more hills. And it is a large cross that's visible for miles and miles that commemorates those members of our community who have perished in the last 5 wars, 5 or 6 wars. And then here we have some wood grain and some moody mauve. I did not tell you the colors in this yet. Sorry about that. Let's do that. Cajun craze, copper clay, crushed curry, early espresso, moody mauve, mossy meadow, pretty peacock, pumpkin pie, and berry vanilla. How about this aerial view of fall? Doesn't this put you in the mood for fall? And look at that gorgeous green with some foil, and then this deep blue color, and then here with some pops of moody mauve with that, I'm going to say that's pretty peacock. And the pumpkins, love, love, love. And then again, pretty peacock with foil. So you get these photographic looking scenes on the one side and then patterns with foil on the other. This screams bird's eye view to me. And then has this copper clay on the other side, a pile of leaves. You ready to jump in? And then you've got moody mauve and foil on the other, and then a leather couch, bench, or chair with pretty peacock, vanilla, and foil accents on this side. And then this just really pretty with leaves and some green on the other side of it. So I did use this paper in our card class, and I'm hoping to use the oxidized copper, just a little bit of it, but stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. These are the gems that coordinate with this suite. They are not, however, the only thing that coordinates with this suite. So they are speckled dots. They're called adhesive-backed speckled dots. And so we have 4 colors. Mossy Meadow, Moody Mauve, Crumb Cake, and Copper Clay. So really fun. They're not hugely tall, can I say that? But they will add some depth. The dots are not, the speckles are not overbearing. They look a lot more speckled in the photo in the catalog than I can tell in in person. The lighter colors, you see more of the speckles than the darker ones. The ribbon that coordinates. Look at this copper ribbon. This one, I'm able just to do that and slide it off. So here's this lovely copper ribbon, and then this really wide natural ribbon. At least I did that to help myself out. Let's see. Watching the time, I've got 14 minutes. I have a hard stop at the top of the hour to take a phone call about the upgrade that's happening. And if I don't get as far with this session, I'll pick up for the next one. All right, so this wide ribbon, this is what they use to tie around the boxes that we saw on the previous page. That is this in here. So there are 5 yards of each ribbon included in the embellishment, and it is copper and natural ribbon, 2 spools, 5 yards each. Now, the next part of this suite is super cool. Thought I'd lost it for a second. This is a distressed tile 3D embossing folder, and you may need to look at the picture in the catalog to truly see this. Let's get it out of the sleeve and see if we can tell. It's going to be kind of hard to tell from here. This is not, you can kind of see it. Let's see if I hold it. No, that's not dark enough. Okay, hold on, let's see. I hold it. Okay, you can kind of see that this is not an exact pattern, that there are places like here and here where the embossing or debossing is not going to be as pronounced. That's that distressed look that we're talking about in it. And there's a pretty good example on page 43 of the catalog if you want to take a look at what that's going to do. I can't wait. I think that's pretty awesome. And that is everything in this suite. Now, I'll just go ahead and tell you that the paper is not available right now. It is, however, expected to back on early next week. So I do plan to continue using this with my card club. These 2 pieces are not, they're not available right now, and I don't believe they are expected back quite so soon. And I'm not using these 2 in my card class. I have a different embellishment and a different ribbon that we'll be using. And if this paper proves to be not available in time, that's okay. I have a plan B for that as well. All right, that is all about autumn. Oh, I do not want to rush, so okay, here you can see more samples. I love this where it's all stamped. Okay, so that is not a terribly difficult card, fairly quick to make. Oh, it does say distinctive. Okay, I did catch that. Okay, so it is distinctive, and it is a $1 million stamp set. So, Amy, I do not know how to say her name. Kunders, Conders. I can see her face. This was a stamp set that she worked to help design. Okay, then this next one is called Fruitful Blessings Bundle. And so you can see that there are dies to cut out each one of the shapes. If you are an acorn lover, then this is your bundle. In addition to those, the dies also include the corn, so you can cut out the corn. You get a taste of something that's coming up in a page or 2 right here with this Abundant Beauty decorative masks. They've used a mask to create the texture on this layer of this card. And I think here as well with maybe embossing paste. The Rustic Crate bundle has got a variety of images here, so it's not just holiday, and it's not necessarily just about fall. You know, here with this leafy garden assortment, then the poinsettias, and then here fall with the pumpkins and sunflowers and the corn. Has a cute little crate die that you can make for your cards. And look how they created the background with the crate stamp over here. This piece was done with those masks that we're going to look at right now. So here are, this top part is talking about the masks, and I have those, so I'm going to grab them. And I'll tell you that Cindy and I are planning a class around this using blending brushes and these masks. You might think of them as stencils too. And I feel sure that that is another one that needs to come. There we go. Actually, two more. Okay, there we go. We've gotten all of them out. Now, 4 of them are going to work together to create this sunflower image that you see here. And you can see it kind of in progress here with the blending brush. They are notched to help you identify which side is up when you're doing it. And they will, if your paper was the same size, it would be very easy for you to figure out, you know, you've done this piece, then you can layer this on the paper, and it's going to be in precisely the right spot to color up the next area of your image. Blending brushes and these types of masks are lots of fun. So I can't wait to play with this. The other 2 dies or masks create this fun, is it houndstooth? I can't decide. Actually, there are 3. Snowflakes, right? So that would be pretty fun. And then this fall scene with different leaves and acorns on it. So you can use these with ink and blending brushes. You can use these with your embossing paste. If you haven't done that, that's messy, but it's big fun. But I'll tell you, if you're working with embossing paste and your masks, rinse them off really well, really quickly, because once that stuff sets, it is set. All right, so watch for a class on that coming soon to you using the Abundant Beauty decorative masks. 7 masks, and they are $10.50. So Sincere, another $1 million achiever stamps. Sandy Hancock helped design this. Love the fonts, love the greetings, and how about this vertical happy birthday? This is on my list, but not purchased yet. Really pretty. Just love spending time with you. Pretty cool. All right, I think I'm really close to where we need to stop, but you know what? I am going to stop here rather than go the next 2 pages rather than rush, because I like Halloween a lot. I have a class featuring this bundle this month that you can still sign up for. And so we're going to pick up here in the next video, which will be, I'm going to sneeze, at 3 o'clock Central. So we'll pick up here instead of the next one. So I'm just going to flag it so that I remember that I'm starting a little different. Okay, in the meantime, in the break, you have a few posts coming up. Let's see what we have. So there is a door prize post that has already posted. That posted at 1 o'clock. And actually, there is a video that I am supposed to drop in the post in 5 minutes. So I definitely have to go so that I can get that done. Guys, I love this suite. That's where we're going to pick up next time. I'll see you in an hour. No reason for me to be late unless they're having problems, and there's been no indication of that so far. I just have to be present for this call, give a thumbs up, and then actually I should be free for the weekend at that point. So cross your fingers that that is exactly what I see in 5 minutes. And this 2 o'clock post may be a couple minutes late because I got to go find what I'm doing. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me. This is such a fun day. It's really long, but it is so fun to do this, to go through this with you. So I just love it. So I'll see you in an hour. Take care. Bye bye.